Hello students, today we'll start the third part of Unit 4 History, that is Intellectual Awakening and the Socio-Political Changes. So far we have completed up to the spread of Jainism, the split in Jainism and the decline of Jainism. So now we have started the Buddhism. We'll start with the heading Teachings of Buddhism today. So the first thing is four great truths. So we are going to learn about the four great truths which is preached by Buddha. So there is suffering and sorrow in this world. Yeah, life is full of happiness and the sorrow. So there will be suffering and sorrow in this world. And second part is the cause of human suffering is desire and craving. So the reason behind this suffering of human being is their desire and the craving of a person. Third point is the pain or sorrow can be removed by suppressing desire and craving. So if we want to reduce or if we want to remove the sorrow from our life, we want to suppress our desire and the craving. And the fourth truth is this is to be achieved by leading a disciplined life or by following what Buddha called the Noble Eightfold Path. So this thing, that is the pain or sorrow, can be removed. So when we follow what Buddha told, that is about the Noble Eightfold Path. So if we follow the Noble Eightfold Path, we can reduce or we can remove the sorrow in our life. So these are all the four great truths of Buddha. Attainment of Nirvana. So according to Buddha, if a person want to achieve the highest bliss, he want to follow the path of Buddha, that is the Noble Eightfold Path. Okay, now we'll see the Noble Eightfold Path which is preached by Buddha. So the first one is right views. So our views must be correct. And second one is right aspirations. Right aspirations means the right desire. So the third one is right speech. Fourth is the right action. And then right livelihood and the right effort. Seventh is right mindfulness. And then at last the right contemplation or the meditation. So these are all the eightfold path which is suggested or which is preached by Buddha to attain the highest and purest state of mind for a human being. Spread of Buddhism. So to spread the Buddhism in different parts of India, Buddha established a Buddhist Sangha or the holy order of monks. So he established a Buddhist Sangha to spread the Buddhism in the different parts of India. And then the bhikshus and the bhikshunis were appointed to spread the Buddhism. So the bhikshus means the male monks and the bhikshunis means the female monks. So they were appointed to spread the Buddhism. So Buddhism is spread to some parts of India like the Central Asia, Sri Lanka, Tibet, Southeast Asia, as well as the eastern countries of China, Mongolia, Korea, Japan and Vietnam. So Buddhism has spread in few parts of India. The split in Buddhism. During the ruling period of Kanishka, the Buddhist monk, his name is Nagarjuna. So he initiated some changes in the Buddhism. So during the period of Kanishka. So the Buddhist monk Nagarjuna, he made some reforms or some changes in the Buddhism. So according to it, Buddhism was split into two. They are Hinayana and Mahayana. Now we'll see about Hinayana. So it means lesser vehicle. So it was the original thing which is preached by Buddha. So the followers of Hinayana, so they declared Buddha as their guru, but they did not worship him as the god. Okay, so they declared him as a guru, but they did not worship him as god. And they denied idol worship and continued with the people's language Bali. Okay, so they are against this idol worship. So idol worship means they will not worship the god with any particular image or a sculpture, and they are following the Bali language, which is common to all the people. Now we'll see about Mahayana. So it is called as greater vehicle. So Buddha was worshipped as god. So the people who belongs to Mahayana, they worship Buddha as a god and the Bodhisattva. So it is his previous avatar. So Bodhisattva is the previous avatar of Buddha. So Buddha is worshipped as a god by the people who belong to Mahayana. And the followers, they made images and statues of Buddha and Bodhisattva and offered prayers. So they are worshipping Buddha and Bodhisattva as a god by using some images and statues of them. And they had some particular mantras to worship their god, that is to worship Buddha. They wrote their religious books in Sanskrit. So this form of Buddhism was patronized by Kanishka. So their religious books are in the language of Sanskrit, and this form of Buddhism, that is Mahayana, is supported by Kanishka. Decline of Buddhism. Now we'll see the reasons for the decline of Buddhism in India. So the first reason is the language. So initially Buddhism was popular because it was preached in the people's language, that is Bali. So initially it was preached in the Bali language, and later the text and the books of Buddhism was in Sanskrit language. So it is difficult for the common people to understand. So language is the first reason for the decline of Buddhism. Second thing is the split in Buddhism into Hinayana and Mahayana. So this is the another reason. That is, image worship in Mahayana made no difference between Hinduism and the Buddhism. So in the Hinayana, the people who belong to that, they will not use any images to worship the god, but in Mahayana they will make use of the statues and images of their god to worship them. So there is no difference between Hinduism and Buddhism because they are worshipping their god with an image. And third one is Buddhism lost its royal patronage during the reign of Guptas. So it lost its support from the Guptas. So during the ruling period of Guptas, the Buddhism lost its support. Further, the invasions of Huns and Turks almost wiped out Buddhism. It is invaded by Huns and Turks. So the Buddhism is vanished out. So these are all the 4 reasons for the decline of Buddhism. The last heading, other heterodox sect, Ajivika. So during the birth of Buddhism and Jainism, one more religion is there, that is known as Ajivika. So this Ajivika religion is founded by the Gosala, and Gosala, he is the friend of Mahavira. So Gosala and Mahavira, they were together for some time. Okay. During the period of Buddhism and Jainism, Ajivika is also there. It was founded by Gosala. Gosala is a friend of Mahavira. Okay. And later Gosala moved away and he founded the Ajivika. So this Ajivika, they rejected the karma theory. So what is the karma theory? The present condition of a man is determined by their past action. So this is the karma theory, and it was rejected by Ajivikas. So the Gosala who found the Ajivika, he argued that the charity and pity, so it will not determine the final level of a human being. So this is the argument of Gosala, and he is against to the karma theory. A small number of people who belongs to this Ajivika, they lived in the South India. So under the Chola period, a special tax was levied on them, levied on the Ajivika people. The 3 Tamil texts, that is the Manimegalai of Buddhists, the Nilagesi of Jains, and Sivanyana Siddhiyar of Saivites. So these three Tamil texts, it contains the information of Ajivika doctrine. So that's all. This lesson is over. Thank you, students.